Hello. This is a very Merry Christmas beginning season for us. This is Audio Heads Geeks Assembled podcast, and I am Crazy Susie. And I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and we'll discuss why I wish you a very Merry Christmas later. Um, Today we're discussing the Claus of Santa with Iris Wildthyme, played by Katie Manning. The beautiful, the bonkers, the bizarre, the bodacious Katie Manning. Yes, she's amazing, and yeah. So with us today we have a cast of characters. We have Lee, Jeffrey, Beef Dad, and Texas Tim. And so, without further ado, I just like to pass it on to Beef Dad for his opening thoughts and salutations.
Well, cheers to you, Katie. I'm on the gin again. God bless you.
I'll drink to that.
Well, I will say, it's a lot of fun, this one. Katie is just brilliant as Iris Wildthyme, as always. And trying to help out Santa and she finds Panda, who had thrown himself into the vortex, and she thought she'd lost him completely, but he turns up again. But she finds a bunch of pandas being sold in a shop, and they are explosive. And this is all down to Santa's wife, Mary, the famous Merry Christmas, who really is doing it because she believes that Santa and Iris have been having it off. And it's just so funny. And you have Alfredo, the robotic thing, and he's funny, very funny. But yeah, Mary is planning on, because of vengeance on Santa, she has got rid of the elves, and it is all now being done with robots, and she is sending the explosive copies of Panda all over the world to go onto Christmas trees, and they are due to explode at midnight on Christmas Eve and totally destroy everybody's Christmas. But it gets stopped by Iris and Santa, played by Peter Sauerbutz, and he's very good. He's very good. And Sarah Douglas as Mary is just absolutely superb. Iris, of course, is completely and utterly magic. David Benson playing Panda, he's fun. He's fun. And Scott Hancock playing Alfredo, the sort of robotic, is just great fun. Great fun. Loved it all. I just enjoyed the whole thing so much.
All right, and let's go to Texas Tim. what did you? And I like your Christmas decorations, mister.
It's Black Friday.
Uh-huh, that's true. So go purchase your pandas today.
This was hilarious. This is just a bit of Christmas camp, isn't it? It's very campy. Lots of one-liners and innuendos, and just the whole idea of a jealous Mrs. Santa doing all these nefarious plots with an elf that acts like a blue meanie for the most part. It's just a lot of fun. I thought it was written by Paul Mars, but I can see by your cover behind you that it wasn't, because it is his usual style of this kind of over the top campiness. And but yeah, I mean, this was amazingly funny. It's a bit of fun. It's the cast is all very well suited, and they just breeze right through it. It was a fun listen.
All right. Well, Lee, what do you think about this? And would you please explain the Sarah Douglas connection to your shirt that you're wearing?
Oh yes, we'll get to that. I've got to agree with Tim though. I thought this was Paul Mars writing. It just the humour in this, the outlandishness of this is Paul Mars. So Mark Wright and Kevin Scott must have been hanging out with him at some point. He's rubbed off on them. Yeah, it's campy, as it's been said. There's plenty of tinsel. It's I enjoyed it. It's it's Irish Wildthyme, drunk as ever. Even more drunk since it's Christmas. You've got Sarah Douglas as the brilliant Merry Christmas, and then Sarah Douglas, of course, was one of the trio of bad guys in Superman 2, of course. Shock horror. Brilliant actress. As you said, you've had the evil elves, you had the pandas, exploding pandas. You had Panda, which is a great character. David Benson, isn't it, who plays Panda? Brilliant, but so campy as well. You also say you had the Jobsworth. What should you call it? Is it Alfredo? Sort of thing. That was a great character. What can you say? It's just a fun romp, Christmas romp, done in the style of Irish Wildthyme. And they can get away with a lot of things with Irish Wildthyme, what you couldn't get away with in other audios. So, because Katie Manning could get away with murder in my book. You know what I mean? Because everybody loves Katie Manning. And I bet you, when they're recording this, she just goes off on a tangent. I bet she doesn't stick to scripts. But yeah, it's a great story. I'd never heard of it before, so I don't know who picked it, but good on them, or suggested it. I don't know, but yeah, brilliant story, and it's at this time of year as well. You need a good laugh, and this was a good laugh. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you. Well, I was just privileged to spend some time talking with the dear Katie in Long Island, New York, and that was really fun. She said that this particular Iris story, Iris got to do all of the naughty things. That Iris was, up to nefarious things, but she was doing naughty things too. And David Benson also did naughty things with Merry Christmas. And so everybody, all four of these characters were getting up to naughty bits. And, to say, in order to save Christmas, a lot of pushing had to be done. cushion and pushing. And yeah, so very camp, very fun, and I just can't say enough good things about Iris Wildthyme. I love this stuff. I love her. I love her crazy panda. Don't call him bear. I love her TARDIS shaped like a double decker red bus. London, or anyway, any place in England has a double decker red bus, and so you know the TARDISes, they get their shapes and they kind of like their shapes, I suppose. That's just the way of TARDISes. And the way of time ladies is that you get messed up with Santa at Christmas time, or Time Lords. They all just end up in the same boat with Santa. I believe that Santa probably was a Time Lord, got stuck on Earth and created this thing because, here's Panda being rescued by the sleigh in the vortex. Okay, I'm done talking about this, but that's my headcanon anyway. So yeah, this is really, really super fun, and I'm really glad we listened to it. Favorite bits that I've said one or two of mine. Let's any innuendo or any bit that you found most biggest crease, biggest chuckle. Let's go back to Beef Dad.
Yes. Yeah, and now I can mend my screw up. Alfredo, played by Scott Hancock, was an elf.
Alfredo.
He's an elf. Yeah. The robotic creature was ST-58, played by Conrad Westmess. One of my favourite moments was the argument between Mary and Iris. That argument was just so brilliantly done, and when Iris finds out about the bombs, she goes absolutely mental, and that, I must confess, I chuckled like a mad thing while that was going on. That was just so good, so clever. And Panda doesn't seem to quite be able to sort out where he is, what he's doing. I suppose that's the problem with having been out in the vortex.
And drugs.
And of course, the one really funny thing for me, the moment that really made me laugh out very loud, was when we found out the panda's got a scratch on his nose from when George Bush ran over him with his bike. that was just so funny. But yeah, as I say, their performances were so brilliant. They all worked together so well. I love the directing was good. And it was lovely to hear Katie sing when she sang the Venusian lullaby to try and subdue and calm down the toy pandas. That was just great, absolutely. But as Tim says, a lot of it is just so very camp, but it is brilliant, and this cast absolutely has it in gold for me.
Thank you. And Tim, since was mentioned, right?
Oh, I don't really have much of a favorite scene, but I'd comment on something Lee said, which was very true about this story, is that this could be a Doctor Who story. You'd have to leave out a lot of the innuendo if you had the Doctor in the Iris part, and as it goes, as Doctor Who stories work. This could have easily been like that, because Doctor Who does funny as well. But this works much better as an Iris type story, because you can get away with all this stuff that they would never try to pull off in a Doctor Who's type story. So that's very clever how they did that, I think. And yeah, I don't really have much of a. It's just the whole thing is pretty much laugh out loud funny throughout. It's a perfect thing to listen to on a Christmas day after a few drinks, you know, just to enjoy, because it's that kind of story. It's perfect for Christmas. I'd never listened to it either. And I'm almost every year I'm looking for something Christmassy to listen to. So I'm glad we found this.
Me too. Me too. Yes, Tim. Me too. Okay, Lee.
To go back what Beef Dad said about Katie singing the Venusian lullaby, brilliant to hear that. Yeah, I thought it was a little tribute to John Pertwee there, wasn't it? I mean, that was just great. That yeah, there's so much as it's been said. The argument between Katie Manning and Sarah Douglas, the argument is so well done. They're just throwing insults at each other, just with venom. You know, it's just brilliant. I just like the way it starts from the beginning. You know, Iris is drunk. Middle, Iris is drunk. Ending, Iris is drunk. But that's Iris Wildthyme.
Strong drinks.
Strong drink, yes. It's a good thing to listen to this, as Tim said at Christmas. But he said just with a few drinks. I would say a lot of drinks. I'm a Yorkshireman. Cheers, Peter. There's so many things in there. I mean, as it's said about Conrad Westmus as the android, he just keeps getting ignored by Iris all the time. You know, don't mind me. You know, I'm trying to explain to him. Don't mind me. You know, getting pushed to the side.
What's with his grammar anyway? I's gonna do this and I's that, and it's got an accent too, but I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why is he talking that way? He's a robot. He should have impeccable grammar.
Well, you better see the writers. Or the actor. The actor might have just put that in.
He was programmed while drunk.
Would have been, yeah. But also as well, the eruption of Panda. You've sort of mentioned it, Susan, earlier. Don't call him a bear. Whoa! It just explodes, doesn't it? He just does not like that, and it's brilliant played out. That, yeah. So it's just fun from beginning to end. Over to you, Susan.
All right, you guys. This has been super fun. My favorite bits are all the way right through it. I do love the naughty bits. I love that Santa and Iris were getting busy on the back of the sleigh, and that Panda and Merry Christmas were getting busy in the workshop. And I just think that's pretty naughty Christmas stuff. That's like, ooh, you know. Anyway, that's super fun. Yeah. So sexy bits are relegated to Iris Wildthyme. You're probably right about Doctor Who not going there necessarily. Anyway, yeah, so I love this thing, and I love the fact that it was written, you know, to bring joy, and that the whole impetus of the panda bombs was that they were going to turn every single person who was near the bombs into, you know, screamy, whiny children, and like that was like wanting the toys and wanting a Merry Christmas. It was like, wow, that's one way to deal with, you know, people growing older and not having as much fun. Turn them all into kids. Yay. Yep. So I'm glad we're in a cast of people who actually are having fun as they age. And so yay for us, and yay for Iris, and yay for Santa. Go ahead, Beef Dad. You look like you're going to say something.
Do I?
Well, you were sitting up. I thought, well, he looks like he's going to say something really. Anyway,
It was mostly wind. Shh, don't say that.
no, jeez.
Getting my back a bit more comfortable.
All right. So anyway, yeah, it was great fun, and let's I just open the floor. Anybody have anything else to say?
It's a shame that we don't seem to be getting any more Irish Wildthymes anymore. I don't think they're doing any more, to be honest.
I
Why do you say that?
don't know.
It's every time, because I get the Vortex magazine with the audio releases, and every so often, Nick Briggs gets an email saying, "Is there going to be any more Irish Wildthyme audios?" No plans as yet. So,
It could be maybe it's because didn't Paul Mars have a falling out with Big Finish at some point? But I think he's written for them since. So I don't know. I mean, I thought I had read that somewhere. You know how the internet is. It's probably just a rumor. But he owns the character, so he didn't allow them to use her any more than that. But they just had a series a few years ago, right? It was about 3 or 4 years ago. They did a series of 30-minute type episodes. Remember?
Yeah, Iris Reloaded.
Yeah, Reloaded. That's what it was.
Well,
Reloaded.
considering how much people love Iris Wildthyme and Katie Manning, I really don't think that Big Finish should end it.
they're ending quite a few series, not just that one. They're ending quite a few of their box set.
I mean, some of the ones that they've ended because people have died.
So it's to do with sales as well.
So yeah.
The problem is that they put out too much stuff at once, and nobody can keep up, and that's probably why. I forget who said it, but they were quoting somebody at a convention saying that they can't keep up this pace anymore. They have to reduce their output. So that's probably. What other series are they ending?
The Prisoner's ending now. They've done 3 box sets. They're finishing that now. That came today. There was another one. What they ended, I can't remember what it was now. They said is it New Doctor's Classic Monsters? They weren't going to do any more, but he's hinted that they may do another one.
They don't really need to. You can just have random. I mean, if they're doing a monthly series, you know what I mean. Any doctor can meet any monster.
Box. Right.
You don't really need that box. That was the first thing that came to mind whenever they got the license to do the new series. Probably is, we can mix this doctor with that monster, that kind of thing, and then they made it a box. You don't really have to do that. You know what I mean? You can have Colin Baker run into, I don't know, the Ragnaros or whatever. I mean,
they stopped doing Sapphire and Steel because of the licensing.
Oh yeah, that was years ago. They haven't been able to do that.
Yeah. That's been up in the air since because there's been no TV series reboot. So I don't know why they can't redo the audios. Blake 7, I don't know what they're going to do with Blake 7 since Paul Darrow's passing.
Yeah, that's okay. They should let that go then, because I mean they also lost Gareth Thomas a few years ago, right? So I mean you might as well just end it.
But there is a few of this series of maybe come to a natural end, but sometimes they just abruptly stop doing them. And Irish Wildthyme is one of those where it's in limbo at the moment.
Lisa Bowerman told us one time when we were interviewing her that once they don't have the license to it, they can't even sell the product. For example, somewhere in a warehouse, they've got 1 billion Sapphire and Steel CDs that they can't sell legally.
And they have all of those Stargate, old Stargate.
Yeah, because they don't have the license to sell it anymore. Once they lose their license, they can't make it and sell it.
Well, the Robin Hood ones, they did.
I might ask Lisa if they're going to do any more Katie Manning ones.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean, never say never. I mean, that's because, she's around and she's always eager to do it. It's probably just a question of getting the writers in to write some stories, But maybe they don't sell that well. I don't know.
This is good questions.
I can see them going to an all-digital service, though, at some point and stop manufacturing CDs, because that's where a lot of their cost goes.
Yes.
I think they were leaning that way.
They do extremely well at things like conventions like Time Lash. They sell so many CDs from
Oh yeah,
finish at Time Lash.
they have a lot of people subscribe and get what do you call it? Subscribers get more. They always get bonuses and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I hope for Katie
Yeah,
for more of.
she does. They do make some more.
Yeah.
Me too. Absolutely, positively want more Iris Wildthyme.
Yeah. God bless the Katie Manning.
Yeah,
I love who's failing her.
I love the character. She started with the Doctor, and she is, done so many adventures without him now. So yeah, bring her some more adventures.
Yeah, I
Well,
love Katie
Yeah,
because
she started in the novels to begin with, didn't she?
Yeah, I'm gonna pour fairy dust on them until they, otherwise known as drugs, on Big Finish until they do these things.
yeah. Well, we're both grandparents, so we bounce a lot of stuff together. Katie and I. She's such a sweetie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so awesome. Anyway, so let's final say and score, since we have gone through the favorite bits. Let's go back to Beef Dad, please.
For me, wonderful, enjoyable. Love and hugs to Katie. Have a gin, darling. And yeah, it gets a 15 from me.
Yep. And Texas Tim, please.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. We need more like this. More Christmas comedies from Big Finish, and I'll give it a 10.
Awesome. And Lee, please.
Yeah, comedies. I mean, even Doctor Who as well, because sometimes some of the audios of the Doctor Who are so serious. And lighten up a bit. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Get a bit of humour in some of these stories. But you can do it. And Iris Wildthyme always lightens the day up. Yeah, I'm going to give 10 tinsel-covered camp elves out of 10.
And I will give it 10 naughty sleigh rides out of 10. It was. I love how naughty this was. I love how it was really sexy and fun, and and yeah, so that was great. And I think that I will fly my own little red school bus through the vortex and look for fun too. This has been Audio Heads, and we love to do fun things like this, and it is a hoot. So would you please come join our podcast group? It would be so much fun. You have to be over 18. That's our only rule. And then you can talk with us about these things. And like and subscribe. Hit the little bell because it's Christmas. Hit the bell because it's Christmas. Hit the bell. And that way you get notified of our future podcasts. And please share this wild time. Yeah. And also make comments, invite your friends to watch these. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thanks, fellas. I have had a really good time today. And I will see you tomorrow for some more camp stuff. So this is a really fun weekend for for us at Geeks Assembled. So yeah, thanks. Bye-bye.